Can you hear your boy? Cause I can hear myself. What's up, y'all? I'm back.
Welcome back to All 32. This your boy Jamal. Just want y'all to know, want everyone to know, last week we had a show for you. We did an entire show, and for some reason, as soon as we finished, the recording app did not record not a single second of the show. I was pissed. Montel was pissed. Well, first of all, we're not going to tell you why Montel wasn't pissed. I take that back. Montel wasn't pissed. Probably because he was at fault. Probably because he was... Yeah, so, with that being said... man, we had a show for you. And, we had to throw it in the trash can. But we back. We're here to give you one for the weekend. I know this was just business week for the off season. So, we're going to give you the show for the weekend. Couple quick topics, man, just to talk some football. I know we itching. Training camp is a couple weeks away. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Thomas is with me starting off. We have a couple people joining us later in the show. But Thomas, man, how you feeling tonight, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, man. I'm off work tomorrow.
You off work tomorrow?
Yeah, man.
They no holiday.
I do 9-hour days. I get every other Friday off. It's my Friday, so okay. Yeah, man.
That's your AWS day.
Yeah, they call it the flex day. They call it RDO, regular day off, all those things. But
okay, all right, man.
I'm here for it.
That's what's up, bro. Look, man, I got a beef with you though, low key, because you was kind of informed of the topics last week, and you said you wasn't that prepared. I gave you one that we're gonna talk about today. Like we talked about the little Phillip Rivers thing, man. I ooped it to you last week, bro, and you didn't show up on us, man. What's the deal, bro?
I'm gonna throw it off the backboard today because me and Montel got into it a little bit, and I told him I was going to challenge him on the show tonight. So I hope I really get the chance to do that because I got some words for him.
All right, well, let's hope it. I was about to insult him. It's not fair. He's not here to defend himself. Let's just hope he shows up, man. Good thing he's in the gym right now. Well, he should be on his way back now that I think about it. But yeah, man, we'll see what that's talking about. So tonight, man, we got a few topics for y'all, man. The first one dives into the NFC East as a whole, really, at the quarterback position. And Thomas gonna kick this one off. Thomas, I'm gonna let you handle this first, like I was telling you before we started. There was an article that came out. I'm not even sure if you saw it. I didn't even ask you that, but it was an article that came out last week. It was last week, early last week. That there was a poll just for the NFC East beat reporters obviously we know the NFC East teams, but there was a question asked over the next 3 years. Assuming first off Kirk Cousins will be there. Which quarterback are you taking for the next 3 years? And Thomas, I'll let you go ahead and answer first. Give you your argument. Let you make your argument. And then I'll give you mine and let you know what the beat reporter said. But Thomas, man, who are you taking over the next 3 years? Including all four. Assuming all four will be there the next 3 years. That's starting now.
So. And there's a couple different ways I can answer this. If I'm starting a new team and I'm looking at the quarterbacks, just pure talent, given their track record, I'm not going to take Eli. He kind of has passed his prime, I think. They're trying to get all the weapons they can around him just to, make that offense better, considering that, like I said, he passed his prime. Then you have Kirk, which I'm a big Kirk fan, of course. I love watching him at Michigan State. I really think he's
party. That's why.
Yeah, of course. So I wouldn't even think I'm biased with that. That's the only Redskin that I like and that I'll support. Besides Colt McCoy.
Question. And we'll dive into it in a couple minutes too. But question: Do you think he's worth $25 million?
I mean, that's the market nowadays. I feel like that we're so used to these, these quarterbacks of the team. Um, it sounds like 25 million is a lot to one player in the NFL. But I've been so hooked on seeing the contracts that these NBA players get, and the stuff that they bring to the team.
It's so hard to compare them, the two
It,
sports.
it definitely is, but at the same time, just everything that a quarterback's responsible for. Me being a former quarterback, so I understand how much of a leader they are. I know everything that goes into making that team better around you. Uplifting guys, actually putting the skill in, learning each of the positions, and knowing what the linemen do, what the
Yeah.
receivers do, reading defenses. I know that's a lot. You're putting in year-round work, and to get paid. Usually less than some of these NBA player contracts. I mean, they put in just as much work with their craft, and I feel like the NFL is just the players are getting shorted on their contracts. So
So
as
you
far as
essentially think he's just worth it's just worth is what the market dictates. So you got to pay it.
I do agree with that. I mean, he's a star quarterback in the NFL. He's put up you know big numbers before, and I mean that's the market. What for quarterbacks are going for. I mean, they keep raising the market every year for quarterbacks. Given like Derek Carr's deal, and whoever gets signed next is going to have the biggest deal after that. So I feel
Yeah,
like
definitely.
his payday is due, or it's going to just keep going up if he keeps putting up numbers that make him and his team at least playoff thought.
Yeah, playoff contender. All right. Yeah, I ain't mean to distract you much, but I had to ask you that because I'm not sure how long you're gonna be with us tonight. I wanted to get that on record. But yeah, man. Back to what you were saying. You mentioned Eli already. You mentioned Kirk Cousins. I just want go ahead. So
So like I was saying about Kirk, I still think he's definitely I like him as a quarterback. He does make a lot of mistakes, almost Tony Romo esque. Making them at the wrong time when they the team really needs it. And I always think back to that Giants game last year where they were supposed to take them to the playoffs. The bottom line really. And then I look at Dak Prescott, which is he's definitely a solid rookie. But I'm not too really that high on rookies. Period. Carson Wentz included. Even if he did have a better year than he had numbers wise last year, I'm gonna go into Dak a little bit first though. He got put into a great situation. Everyone knows that. That's
yeah,
the main argument. His numbers kind of speak for himself. He made minimal mistakes because that run game was just so well. Play action was always there. He didn't have to make too many second, third reads like too often. All this stuff was first read, play action. That's how he got his money. And uh, I'm still not taking him because I feel like the NFL would catch up to him and he'll kind of start to level out. Same thing, I can kind of almost compare him to Colin Kaepernick. He came on the scene pretty strong. He had some great numbers. Took this team to the Super Bowl, and I won't say that because they're the same type of player or anything like that, but just not even the type of situation, but the fact
yeah.
that he
That's what
came
I
on
was
so
about to bring
strong.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, he came out. He
that's
came
the
out
only similar
strong,
part.
but I was about to say you don't think because in San Fran, that entire situation was fucked up. Like the minute
No, I
Harbaugh,
agree.
yeah, the minute Harbaugh got there, the owner, I believe, and the general manager, if I'm not mistaken, they was basically trying to ruin the relationship from the jump. So, that one was kind of fucked up. I don't even know if I can even define Kaepernick as a player now. I don't even know
No,
why.
yeah.
I just thought about it because he's unemployed right now, and I think it's fucked up. So that's the
Harbaugh
only reason
definitely
why.
did not help that cause.
Yeah. So I just think that entire situation was fucked up out there, and it definitely didn't make Cap look good. But yeah, I understand. Back to your comparison, you was like they got off so strong, Dak and Kaepernick. So you think they'll level out?
Even after that, Cap, he had his strongest season. When he did take him to the Super Bowl, he didn't really have as good of a season those years subsequent to that season. And I'll tell you, I'll bring up another name that I think he might be similar to, maybe not as harsh, but you remember Josh Freeman? You remember his
Oh,
rookie year
okay,
with
okay.
with the
That's a good one.
with the Bucks
Yeah, yeah.
because
They went 10-6.
Exactly. He took him to a 10-win season. He had great numbers that year, good enough to take him to the playoffs in a South Division that, is always
Hey, they didn't even
competitive,
make it.
regardless of the record. Oh, to the play. Oh, they did have
Nah,
a 10-win season.
they went 10-6, didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know
did
who
get
went.
snubbed.
Yeah, I don't know who went in front of them. That might have been the year, the couple years the Saints was on it.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't even look into it, but that name just, was
I mean,
sticking around in my
you
head.
definitely right because he had like his fall off. Matter of fact,
He had a
what the hell
sophomore
happened?
slump.
Oh yeah, he went to
So,
the
so
Vikings.
here's what happened. So he had a great rookie year. Then the lockout happened, and players weren't able to kind of work on their stuff with the team. I feel like that really hurt him, and he had a horrible sophomore year.
He
And
definitely
after
did.
that, the team went downhill, and he ended up getting going on another team.
Yeah, he went to the
Like you say, he went
Vikings.
to the Vikings. Yeah, he went to the Vikings. And then they had him starting the
He
same
put up one
weekend.
of the most that a historically bad passing night on Monday Night
It was
Football, bro.
ugly.
It was one of the worst games I've ever watched, bro. And it didn't help
I
because the
think they
Giants
signed
didn't
up.
even look good.
They signed him the previous Monday. He had 1 week to prepare, and they
Yeah.
put him as a starting quarterback, which is totally unfair.
But I
As a
mean, yeah,
quarterback,
that's unfair. But if you
because
think about
everything
it,
you do on
they
the
didn't
field,
really dive into the playbook per se. They didn't
they didn't.
dive
They do
into it.
all basic stuff. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, defense
That's
isn't
throwing
going
them
to
to
eat.
the wolves. It's throwing them. It's throwing
And
them.
everything you do on the field, that's going on your resume. That's going on your next contract, like negotiation. And that, I mean, you see, he got out of the NFL, sooner than people were predicting that he would be
Yeah, I mean,
after
I
his rookie.
definitely agree, and I know you haven't finished yet, but I mean, it's definitely worth talking about because you bring up some good points. I definitely agree with the fact that, and I say this, I've doubled down on this. I even said it this, I might have been BS, and I might have some, I might need to think about it a little bit more, but I definitely think that the Cowboys in general, and I know a lot of people may think like, yeah, it's a Redskins podcast, so this is a Redskins homer. No, it's not the case with this the thought that I've that I've came about. But when it comes to the Cowboys in general, like it was a breakout season. Like nobody expected that. You can't get no higher than a 13-3 season with a rookie quarterback and a amazing elite run game. Like it was so vanilla offensively in terms of the passing game. They asked Dak to do very little. He was a playmaker, but their scheme they asked him to do very simple things. Um, Zeke toted. I believe I believe he was number one in carries if I'm not mistaken, or he was definitely top three. So it's kind of hard. Like the NFL will catch up to you for sure. Um, I definitely don't think this great of a year will will get even greater this year as well with Dak. So I just wanted to
Yeah, I
put
feel
that
like
out there.
they peaked. I mean, they they had a great year. I mean, I can't say, of course, no one can predict the future, but at the same time, I mean, they had phenomenal year that I don't think they duplicate that.
Some person may mention this week that they felt their losses defensively, and they made a good point. Um, but they said they felt their losses this week for the Cowboys um, essentially made them better because of who they picked up, like their rookies and their younger guys. He said that it essentially made their secondary better because they have more um, years with these guys. They can bond, they can grow um, as a secondary. I mean, it makes a good point, but I don't think it's going to work right now
No,
where their
you could
offense is
say the same
steaming
thing about
hot.
the Eagles. I mean, they got all young people.
Yeah, so it may work down the road with
It's growing
chemistry.
pains, definitely.
Yeah, but no, not right now, man. Not right now. Not at all.
And that's not even to say, any one of them might not come into their own. I mean, people are projected all the time, to have great careers, and
Yeah, that a
things happen.
doozy fella from Colorado that they drafted the Cowboys. That's a lot of people that I mean, that's a lot of that's the name that a lot of people are talking about.
I mean, just the same thing with the Eagles. Sidney Jones might not work out. I mean, there's
Oh
so much
yeah,
hype
the second
surrounding him,
round pick. I
and
forgot
that
about him
injury,
too.
he might not be the same, after that Achilles.
Do you know his status right now?
I mean, he's walking on it. Anything he's doing is light. He's not really, doing anything serious, like as in drills. I know
When is he projected
he's
to
at
start taking
the
the field?
um, to actually be on the field, or are you talking
Yeah,
about
to
just
be on the
practicing?
field.
They're talking about October, but I've heard some speculation that they might keep him out the whole season just because
Damn.
they don't want to risk a first round pick, in one season that might, ruin his career. Like if he's back
Okay.
too early,
Okay.
he might hurt his Achilles again, be out another year. So it's like, do you invest that year and just?
I guess it depends on how the season is. They might put him like on IR, with designated to return or something like that.
That too. I mean, or they might, throw him in situationally if he does, if they do want to get him at least some game time, maybe not a whole game or a whole half or anything like that, just so he can get a feel of being on the field.
Okay.
But then again, that's all speculation. They're not going to come out and say that what he's doing right now.
All right.
So to bring that all back, of course, I'm taking Carson for the next 3 years.
Lord Jesus.
And I'll give you some, some valid points that are arguable, but still have some merit. So, considering what he's done with Eagles team that was definitely lacking on offense. He started off great. He started off 3-0. He beat a Steelers team that people were projecting, to almost, take it all this year, and they were looking pretty hot even coming into the game. The defense played, phenomenal that game, but still, Carson, he definitely made a few plays, to put some points on the board. You get to the Vikings game, Vikings were 5-0 at the time, and had almost, top 3 defense at the time, and ended up tearing them apart too. Those are just some of the milestone games that to go into what kind of quarterback he can be for this team and how dominant that this team can be around him.
So the team rallies around him. He's a leader.
Yeah, I feel like it was more of a momentum thing. You start losing a few games and making more mistakes, like a rookie usually does, and that kind of carries from game to game. He started making dumb throws. His mechanics just wouldn't stay consistent.
I mean, that's what happens when your O-line get hurt too. Like you start just you try to improvise as much as you can, because I think I know your right tackle was gone for a good while. Lane was suspended for 10 games.
Yeah. After that too, I mean, we
Somebody
definitely
else got hurt. Y'all was down to an undrafted free agent or like a 6th-round pick or something like that, 6th-round rookie, if I'm not mistaken. Ryan Kerrigan had like 3 sacks on that fool.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad. I mean, he not being protected, he just throwing wild passes under pressure,
Yeah.
and but through all of that, I mean, he showed toughness. He was making hard scrambles, making tough plays, getting hit, coming right back up, still rallying. You can see him rallying on the sideline, and it just seems like to be a natural leader. He has a big arm, and he can throw that thing deep, and he can definitely open up the field so that it's not all you're not really covering just the first third of the field. He can take it to all 3 levels.
Understood, man.
Deep.
Nick has just joined us, by the way. Nostradamus just dropped in the building. You know what I'm saying? He was talking shit about my boy. First of all, hey Nick, let me tell you something.
What's up? Can you hear me? Because I can hear myself.
Hey, look, bruh. Actually, we'll wait till the next show. I'm gonna hold you to it because we're doing another one next week for y'all. You doing the intro, because what they don't know is because the recording was thrown in the trash can or the show was thrown into the trash can after last week. You said you were gonna host the show. It can't be that difficult. So I'm just putting that on record. Look at you smirking. Right. I'm just putting that on record now, bro, that you're doing the hosting next week. So you better be on, bro. I'm ready. You hear me?
All right, it's lit, man. Just let me know what time. Oh, it gotta be early in the week though. It can't be nothing after Thursday.
Oh no, we ain't doing that because we probably gonna put the show out by like Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, you should be straight, bro.
Hey, you said y'all cut the show from the last show?
Remember last week we did the show and we couldn't put it up because Montel ain't, you know what I'm saying, he ain't do what he's supposed to do.
Bro, I thought that was a good show, bro. Like,
we wasted a good hour.
That's wild. Just now I was like, dang, why the podcast ain't come up, bro? That's wild.
Yeah, that's
I blame
Montel.
Montel can't get on this one. What you doing?
He keeps saying this Skype keep pulling up and leaving. So hey, if he can't get on, he SOL, buddy. Just letting you know that now, man. But look, just a quick question because we've been
talking about.
You said what?
Andrew Luck. You heard all this stuff. I was trying to talk about Andrew Luck. So he's talking about his stuff.
Skype ain't fucking with him. But nah, look, Nick. Before we go ahead and get into the real topics, man, we was just talking about this poll. I mean, this poll that came out last week over for the NFC East. The last they polled the beat writers for all the teams in the NFC East, and they were asked for the next 3 years, which quarterback will you take, assuming that all four will be there the next 3 years? Which quarterback are you taking to lead your team in the NFC East?
I already said this, but I said, what did I say? I think I said I would take Kirk if I knew he was going to be there, but he's not going to be there, bro. Y'all can't get
Nah,
no
no,
deal
no, no,
done.
no, 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 no.
I know the future, bro. I know Kirk not going to be there in 3 years.
You can't tell the future. You're
I
not.
just
You're
did.
not that bright.
I speak it into existence, bro.
If they
Kirk
pay
won't
him,
be there. It's
Look,
going to be
he's
Colt
the
McCoy,
Redskins for the next 3 years, bro. Who are you taking?
Dak Prescott.
Oh Lord Jesus.
man,
We
someone
just
get
so
this man.
happen to get an Eagle and a Cowboy fan, and they both taking Dak and
The
Carson.
thing is, I thought Nick was going to take Carson. He's pretty high on the boy.
Go ahead, man. Explain
Was
yourself, buddy.
that what you mean? He first of all, my man set up to be great, bro. O line, running game, Daniels on the outside, switching bees in the slats. I'm trying to tell you now that 10 personnel with them boys, they getting ready to light shit up. But I just think that he doesn't do anything OC to like Kirk Cousins. Let me tell you something. He sling that rock like Brett Favre, and you know Brett Favre love interceptions. So I would say Kirk on. He either gonna play himself out of the Redskins, or y'all gonna let him go. So either way, he not gonna be there.
Man, look.
Uh, with Carson Wentz,
Go ahead.
his receivers, he does have Alshon now. Torrey Smith is also a part of Brick Squad, so I will say,
Bro, I don't know why you keep saying that.
Bruh.
He's taken the top off of defenses before.
and he also dropped the ball when he take the top ball, bro. Did you not see the Pittsburgh game?
I mean, he's a threat
Son,
alone.
you talking about a Pittsburgh game when he was with Baltimore his rookie year, bro,
Bruh,
or like his second season in the league, bro. That don't even make
first of all,
sense.
might have been his third year.
No, it wasn't, bro. Because I know which one you talking about. He was wide up. No, he beat
Wide
the
open.
dude.
No,
he beat the dude.
I can show
to
you
the back
some
of the end
games,
zone.
bro.
He beat the dude to the back of the end zone, bro, and it was just right there. It was in the bread basket, and he dropped it.
Thomas,
I know what you're talking about.
Thomas. I already know what you're gonna show me. You're gonna show some highlights, and of course, it's gonna make him look good.
I mean, it's from one game. I mean, it's just.
But he not good. All right,
I think someone passed in his family or something like that. Man, that boy went off.
Well, I don't want to wish too many deaths in his family for him to go off. So he gonna be some shit. Sorry.
Hey, Montel, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Nah, I
Hey,
don't know.
Martel, you recording, bro? Cause come on, man.
You sure?
Last time I didn't record with the knowledge of knowing Marv records on Skype. So everybody shut the fuck up.
Nah, man, you gotta have everything ready, but
I'm
audacity.
about to
and
say,
the-
You know what I'm
Martel.
saying? I came in midway. I literally came from the gym, dropped everything, and just hopped on the computer. I wasn't thinking about recording.
Hey, Montel, I
That's
just
what
wanted to
I'm
let you know
saying.
what the player that we talking about right now is Andrew Luck being some shit, and he's not gonna be any good. I just wanted to let you know that.
That's perfectly fine.
It's like, no, go ahead and finish your point, Nick, before we get to Montel. Go ahead and finish your point.
Bottom
Unless he was
line,
done.
Torrey Smith not good. Carson Wentz, he here around a bunch of brick squad. Alshon is only
you know
show
what? I
hands
don't even want to hear
receiver.
this no more.
Alshon and
saying.
Zach Ertz is only
All he did
show
was
hands
name
receiver.
Cowboys.
What? Zach Ertz and who else? Who y'all running back? LeGarrette and who else?
LeGarrette, the
That's
short
his right-
dude, the 5'6" fool.
All right,
Humphrey.
Yeah, Humphreys.
Humphrey's fucking concussion.
Humphrey. Wendell Smallwood.
Yeah,
Darren Sproles.
Smallwood and Ryan
And
Matthews.
Ryan Matthews still on the
Come
roster.
on, man. Well, the last name is Smallwood. I know he not gonna be good. You don't got to worry about him.
All right, man. So you going with Dak, bro? Montel, how you feeling tonight, bro? You good, man? How was your workout? You didn't hurt your knees, did you?
Nah, bro. I came in this joint and felt smack out today. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Oh, you didn't go to the gym?
Hell no.
Hey,
I mean, I don't blame you because the dude, you was supposed to play in the league. You had a league game today, and bro said he couldn't even play you at the time you got home. So I don't even blame you. I thought you was gonna go to the gym.
too.
No, bro. I came home. I fell straight to sleep. As soon as he said he couldn't play,
That mean you gonna be up for a minute, bro. Unless
I don't
you're
even care. I may go to the gym now, but I literally haven't been getting no sleep Work been draining me.
Oh, so
I
you
just been
still on? You go to Planet Fitness?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's on 24 hours. You might as well hit the gym though if you just woke up for real. Then ain't no big deal. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
to it.
Just don't duck this luck smoke.
Hey,
No.
Montel, you know if you tired all the time, that mean your girl pregnant. Just let you know that.
I probably just work too much.
Or your girl
Hey,
pregnant. Either one.
that was a professional answer. He didn't even dive into Nick's comment. But look, man, since Tom is short on time, we're gonna go ahead and start that topic first. I mean, we'll get to Cousins second. So, I know Montel is tired of hearing this shit, but
Right.
we gotta understand. I'm gonna put this out there because, like I said, first of all, we recorded last week, so you don't understand where the genesis of this conversation is coming from. But essentially, there was a comment made I heard on radio, stating that Andrew Luck didn't make any players better. Well, he didn't make players better. The players around him. Uh, you know, I heard. I wish I could have relayed verbatim what he was saying, but I can't record the radio. I was caught off guard, but I was going to the gym. But I was like, damn, he made a good couple points. I said it last week. We compared him to a few players, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But point is, we're past that argument. I think we all felt that he didn't necessarily he made a few players better, but it wasn't like nobody agreed with the bottom line that he didn't make players better. So today, Thomas, you can introduce your argument, what you were saying about Phillip Rivers when we was doing the show last week. You can introduce your argument and why you compared it to him, and then the general question is, can or do you see Luck's career going down like Phillip Rivers or something similar? So, Thomas, if you want to introduce your comparison, then we can go ahead and get from there.
Okay, yeah. So I started off this conversation with Montel and you guys just speculating on the type of career that Andrew Luck might have. Coming in, man, he was surrounded with so much hype, talking about he's going to surpass Peyton Manning, the Hall of Famer, first ballot, of course, and have rings on rings, and he's going to take the Colts to the promised land. I don't know how many times, but since he's been in the league, he's been to the playoffs, and he's been to an AFC Championship. But I'll get into that and why I think that the Colts didn't deserve to go to that AFC Championship. But I say he'll be a Phillip Rivers-esque type player because they're both good quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers is an awesome quarterback. He's put up numbers year in and year out constantly, and he's done that with different players around him, like different receivers, different running backs, and he just seems to just keep falling short of the playoffs or falling short in the playoffs. And I think that'll be Luck's bottom line too, just because of the players that are surrounded by him. I mean, he has the intangibles to get them there, no doubt. But at the same time, he's definitely still dealing with a lingering shoulder injury, which didn't seem to show too much last year, although he did miss a game or two. But at the same time, I feel like that he'll just keep putting up the numbers, and a Colts team it just keep falling short because the division's getting stronger. He kind of missed his time where division was
They
so
had their little
so
window in
poor.
like 2012 and 2013.
They were so poor. I mean,
Or
Jacksonville not
2014, I
good.
think too.
Titans hard. I mean, barely any good seasons at that time, and the Texans weren't really doing too well either. So I mean, that was really their time to shine. Now all these teams are better. It's definitely going to be way harder for him. And just going forward, I mean, he's nearing 30, not really, but at the same time, I mean, he's getting to that point in his career where he should be in his prime. His team should be constantly going to, at least contending for an AFC Championship. And I think he'll just keep putting up good numbers, and his teams will just keep falling short. And I'll be ready.
You don't really see like an Andrew Luck team as opposed to, for example, as opposed to what's his name, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm naming premier quarterbacks: Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger. You don't see Andrew Luck's team, Andrew Luck led team, as a contender, a legitimate contender. When you talk about AFC Championship for Montel's sake, argument's sake, or a Super Bowl.
Exactly. No, I
Okay.
don't. I mean, you look at, the running back, what they have, Frank Gore, he's definitely getting older. I don't see, there's not a clear cut running back to take over that's going to be, a star in the NFL. They still got T.Y. I mean, he's good. And, Moncrief, he's also good. Dwayne Allen's, he's solid.
He
All
got
these
traded.
players. Oh,
no. Yeah, Dwayne Allen he got traded to the Patriots.
He did get traded to Patriots, and I use him on our Madden league. That's funny. And the defense is suspect, to say the least. So, you look at all those teams that you named so far. I mean, they're either a powerhouse on one side of the ball or another. And I just don't see that with the Colts, especially given that the Titans are looking way better. Houston, had number 1 D in the league last year, and he's in a world of trouble with those division opponents because he plays them 2 times a year. That's
okay.
You say Jacksonville? I think you missed Jacksonville.
I said Jacksonville. I mean, even though, like I said, everyone's getting stronger. I'm not gonna say who's the best right now, but I mean, Jacksonville, they're not the sorriest team. They'll put up a fight, and they've gotten better. I mean, they added people to the roster that make them a contender to win more divisional games than they did last year.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and let Montel make his rebuttal because I know he feels strongly about his boy Andrew Luck. Now, taking into consideration everything that he said in his argument, sir, what would you like to say about why this is not true?
This man, Thomas, man, I really don't understand. I don't understand what y'all got against Andrew Luck. Wow. But in all honesty, the comparisons as of right now today are legitimate. You got 2 guys who have struggled the past couple of years as far as getting to the playoffs. But if you want to be 100% honest, Andrew Luck is 27 years old. He's been to the playoffs 3 of the 5 times that he's been in 3 of the 5 years that he's been in the league. Phillip Rivers is 35. He's at the end of his career. You can't foresee the future. You're saying Frank Gore is the best running back that he's had or blah, 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 this and that. He's 27. And we can't foresee the future. The Colts may flip it around. Granted, he doesn't have a great defense around him. He doesn't have great weapons around him other than T.Y. Hilton. I like Dante Moncrief, who he makes better. Believe it or not, I got the numbers to back that. But at the
what
end
about
of the
that
day,
offensive line, though?
And that offensive line is very suspect. He was the most sacked quarterback last year, but the NFL is the ultimate team sport. We're speaking as if he's Carmelo Anthony, and you can't win a ring with Andrew Luck at quarterback. That's ridiculous. That's bullshit.
Well, because I wouldn't want to put it that way.
But that's the way we're making it seem. Andrew Luck won't win a championship. He's 27. Let's give him time. Peyton Manning didn't win his first championship until he was 30. There's a lot of quarterbacks who did. John Elway didn't win one until he was 37. So you got to give it time. We're sitting here, and this isn't an indictment on Phillip Rivers or Andrew Luck. I think it's more so an indictment on these organizations. Those are 2 talented, great quarterbacks, but you have to put pieces around them because the NFL is the ultimate team sport. But we're not going to sit up here and say he's going to be Phillip Rivers based on what? Based on the team that he has around him now? 2 years down the road, the Colts may have the number 2 ranked defense and another weapon aside from T.Y. Hilton. We don't know. Based on today and now, it does appear that way, but we got to give it some time. He's only 27.
I think that's fair. I can't.
I mean, that's always fair.
Yeah, I'm about to say I can't disagree.
We don't know
with
the future.
argument.
I'm speculating on the fact that, like I said, he does have that lingering shoulder injury. We don't know how bad that is or how much it's affected him. I mean, like I said, he's put up numbers, but you get hit in that same shoulder again, what's going to happen? Because it has bothered him. He's missed, multiple games in multiple seasons.
Well, I mean, and not just a shoulder. He had a rib injury, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's the one that knocked him out or for the year or if it was the shoulder injury in 2015 I'm talking about because I think he missed the year with I think ribs or shoulder injury. I don't know, but he's had I'm about to say he's had injuries in 2 different areas. I know that for a fact. I don't know which one knocked him out, but I understand what you're saying. I understand what both y'all saying, and I think that the thing is when it comes to luck, and Montel's right. You can't predict the future. But to say early on, like for example, there's comparisons in their career that makes the question, I think, a fair question to ask. because Andrew Luck and the Colts. I think he got into. Well, he's 27 right now, so that means he's been in the league since he was 23 or 22. One of them.
He's been in the league for 5 years. Yes.
No, I'm saying I
So
don't know if he was turning 28 this year or not. So that's why I was asking. But
okay.
so he's been in the league for 5 years. Point is, he's reached the AFC Championship in 2014, and the past 2 seasons he's missed it. I think they went 7-9 and 15. Either way, point is, at one point, just like Phillip Rivers in 2007, even though they didn't have it, I was rooting for them to win against the Patriots, but they really didn't have a chance against the Patriots in 2007, the AFC Championship game.
I disagree.
It really wasn't close. Like in terms of
I disagree.
In terms of you watching the game, it really wasn't close. They had it at one point where it was like within the touchdown, but they couldn't move the ball. They was turning it over too much. Phillip Rivers couldn't do nothing on the ACL. So that's what I'm saying. Like the score was close, but they could not move the ball, and neither could the Patriots. The Chargers playing good defense, but you could tell that the Chargers wasn't going to be able to take the lead over the Patriots. That's all I'm saying. But my point is, they peaked at one point early in his career, and they haven't been the same since. So that's why I felt the what Thomas was saying, his comparisons were legitimate. And I was like, well, what if Andrew Luck, he made that appearance in 2014? I was like, what if this is the same career scenario where he's peaked in 2014, but they haven't been the same since. So that's why I felt that was a legitimate question to ask, and that's why I wanted to bring it on the show. And I also wanted to hear both of you guys take, and I wanted to hear Thomas expand more on what he was trying to say. But he was saying, like, statistically, they.
I mean, that too, and plus I look at you look at those Chargers teams and look what the division of what they had around them. All those teams got better now, and they got worse. It seems like
I think they've always been good. They always, like, the past 4 years they've been injury riddled. Look at that. You already know Keenan Allen. He's out he missed 3 seasons already, like season enders. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely played with injuries, but they had Danny Webb go down.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it. They definitely were always plagued. But I was talking about just the year's getting better. The Broncos, developed greatly over that span. Chiefs definitely got better, and the Raiders have always been bad up until now. But I say that to say, I mean, look at this. Look at the AFC South now. All those teams are getting better. I'm saying, I mean, it'd definitely be harder for Luck than ever to bounce his team back to become a contender. And he is 27, going on 28. I mean, the older you get, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you miss your prime. It's going to be harder. I mean, they're really the organization's going to have to change drastically for him to get a ring.
Okay. If I was hoping Montel had something to say, but Nick, do you got anything?
I was going to let Nick talk, and then I was going to chime back in.
All right, go ahead, Nick. You got anything to say, bro? Because I know this ain't your debate.
I'm watching Lonzo's highlights, and the boy is looking good.
I wasn't gonna bring him up, but since you're gonna say that, the boy balling, but this summer league, we can talk about that later.
Well, shit, his league over with now. They lost.
Well, he won last night
against
No, they lost.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I know y'all lost. I wasn't tripping.
Probably play tonight at 10:30.
Oh, they do play tonight.
Oh, nah, that was the third game then. So yeah, y'all got a playoff game tonight. I want people.
We won the third game.
Yep.
Damn it. We won 3 games. We wanted to win 3 games in a row when we win tonight. So we lost the first 2. But
you dork.
Back to Andrew Luck, bruh. I'm tired of talking about him. I ain't gonna hold y'all. He alright. I ain't gonna say he good. I ain't gonna say he bad. He does turn the ball over a lot, and he does put his team in bad positions. I can remember a game versus the Bears where they should have lost that game, but they got blessed by the grace of God by a drop pass in the end zone. And Andrew Luck threw 2 bad picks. He threw 2 bad picks, back-to-back drives to seal the game. And I don't know what the hell he was thinking. but he looks stupid out there. Also, Andrew Luck is the second worst quarterback when it comes to turnovers, behind the infamous Jay Cutler. I feel like if your name is anywhere behind his, you ain't good. But I mean, I guess he does have a bad. I'm not gonna say a bad team. I feel like his offense is pretty good. O line is bad, but the weapons around him are not bad. Like he has Moncrief, T.Y., Dennis Allen, and Frank Gore. I guess he drank a sip of Fountain of Youth. He did all right last year.
They got Dorsett too, right? Or
yeah, Philip Dorsett.
He ain't no weapon. He ain't been doing nothing.
Yeah, like I got the ticket, man.
I'm sorry. Hey, quick question, man. I'm starting to wonder: do y'all really do y'all homework before y'all hop on these shows? But my comp to Moncrief, and we brought it up last time on the show when people were stating that Andrew Luck don't make players better. I'm gonna let you know now. While Andrew Luck was out, I got the numbers pulled up right now. No one was nearly as productive as they typically are. This is how you know Andrew Luck makes people better. Dante Moncrief numbers weren't even worth speaking of while Andrew Luck was sitting out. Andrew Luck makes that guy who he is. And I want y'all to know, am I comp to him, since you think he's so talented, do you think that Dante Moncrief is better than Devontae Adams? No, not by any stretch. Aaron Rodgers makes Devontae Adams better than what he actually is. And if you ask me, Devontae Adams is better than Dante Moncrief. That's my comp to Moncrief. Because at the end of the day, these guys make these wide receivers look better. If you take Dante Moncrief and put him with an average quarterback, he won't put up numbers. Because he didn't put up numbers.
You didn't even say his numbers without Luck.
It's not worth speaking of. I'm just letting
you know. I know. He was on my fantasy team.
That's what I'm saying. He put up. I think he put up 1 or 2 touchdowns in a stretch of 9 games. He had like 2 games where he had more than 3 or 4 catches. I'm not even lying to you. T.Y. Hilton's numbers, of course they dropped, but the thing is, T.Y. he was still somewhat productive, but his production fell way off.
Hold on, wait.
But you look at guys like
Matt Hasselbeck, or we talking about with we talking about
this is 2015 when Andrew Luck went down. 2015 when Andrew Luck went down, these guys were not nearly as productive. You got to think. Okay, so I'm about to put up T.Y. Hilton.
Go ahead. I'm about to see who the hell. I know Matt Hasselbeck played, but I don't know who the hell else their quarterback.
I'm about to say who was the quarterbacks, bro.
But that's the thing.
I want to know who the quarterback was.
My thing is, you can't really necessarily ask who the quarterback is if you think that these guys are so great. If you think that they're going to be productive, no. Here's my thing.
You saying great? That's a bad.
Okay, so my question is, do you think Andrew Luck make Dante Moncrief better? That's my question to you.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, he's the best. Okay. He's the best up. One of the best. Well, him and Russell Wilson is the best quarterbacks of the 2012 draft. So I mean,
the thing is, when we last spoke about this, people were acting as if Dante Moncrief was this high-powered weapon.
He just saying he was better than the way he was making him seem. You made him seem like he was garbage. That's the way. That's the basic you saying.
I'm letting you know now. His success is predicated on Andrew Luck getting him the rock. Andrew Luck has to get him the rock.
He's not garbage, bro.
I'm not saying he's garbage, but he's not. He's definitely not great. So these weapons that y'all keep talking about, these weapons y'all keep talking about that he has around. He has the worst O-line around him. He has one of the worst defenses around him. He has T.Y. Hilton, which is the only legitimate number 1 weapon that he has. Other than that, he doesn't have much around him. You have an aging Frank Gore, and he's leading these guys to the playoffs. Last year they didn't get to the playoffs, but he doesn't have much around him. Like
Charlie Whitehurst. Oh no, he had 1 game, and then Josh Freeman had 1 game, and Ryan Lindley. Yeah, bro, it wasn't just Matt Hasselbeck. It was Charlie Whitehurst. Damn it,
trash.
Clipboard Jesus, Josh Freeman, and Ryan Lindley.
Trash.
2 of those people.
I'm
about to say, yeah, I can't even help you, bro. He came from the Chargers, I think, though. But
I know Josh Freeman, though.
Josh Freeman not in the league no more. Whitehurst, I don't think he's in the league anymore. Lindley's he can't be in the league anymore.
I know Lindley is, bro.
But I mean, these guys
10-day contract.
All right, man. But Hasselbeck played 8 games. Luck played 7. Whitehurst played 4. Freeman played 1, and Lindley played 1. So that's where the numbers come from.
You said Hasselbeck played 8 games?
Hasselbeck played 8.
That means that they only
Yeah, I'm about to say,
had
that's
one
what I'm thinking
game.
of.
Of. I was about to say they only had one game without
Freeman played the one
Hasselbeck.
game. Freeman played the other game, and
Right.
he had 149 yards.
And Hasselbeck wasn't doing too bad if you want
He
to
was
be
5-3.
100%.
He was 5-3 as a starter.
What's the numbers though?
But I was
What's
about to
the
say
numbers?
he threw 5 picks, had 9 touchdowns. He wasn't really doing nothing. He only had 60% completion, so he wasn't that accurate. He was barely over 59. So, yeah, he wasn't that accurate, bro. Luck was 2-5 with 15 touchdowns, 12 picks. So that year he played 7 games. So did you calculate the numbers that they had with the 7 games as opposed to what they had with the 8 games?
I did the 7 games, and I did over a course of a full season with Andrew Luck. Over a course of a full season with Andrew Luck, though they were balling. They told you Moncrief had 7 touchdowns, and I brought up the numbers last time with Andrew Luck. 7 touchdowns. Dwayne Allen 6 touchdowns. T.Y. Hill had his most productive year this past year, where he had almost 1,500 yards.
So what was they doing that year with the 7 games with Luck?
I'm not sure what the numbers were with Luck that year. I'm not going to predicate those 7 games with Luck because one, that was one of Luck's worst seasons. Secondly, I guess I was trying to fit it towards my argument, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a full season. No, but it wasn't a full season.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
But I think it wasn't a full season with Andrew Luck. I have more seasons with Andrew Luck playing 15, 16 games and those guys putting up numbers. And then we have this one season where they don't have Andrew Luck. And in the course of those 9 games that they played, they didn't do anything. So my thing is, you got T.Y. Hilton. He had one 100-yard game, and he only had 2 touchdowns over the stretch of 9 games. He had, in 3 of those games, he had 5+. In 3 of the 9 games, he had 5+ receptions. Like I said, he was still pretty productive, but he was not T.Y. Hilton to any degree. That lets you know Andrew Luck makes T.Y. Hilton better, of course. My thing is, when we speak about receivers being great, the great receivers, when I think of Larry Fitzgerald, Brandon Marshall, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, they can play with any quarterback, and they'll make that quarterback better. Andrew Luck doesn't have a receiver like that around him. That's just my personal opinion. So
you're right. I don't want you to do that.
Exactly. And my thing is, when people say that Andrew Luck don't make players better or Andrew Luck isn't that good, I think that's ridiculous. I think your opinion is based off of something else. What makes you think that Andrew Luck isn't that good? He's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. There's nothing that he can't do. He reads defenses. Yes, he makes mistakes. Every quarterback makes mistakes. So you're going to point out one game where he threw 2 picks in a critical situation, when I can point out 100 games where Tony Romo did that. I can point out a game where Kirk Cousins did that. I can point out a game where Derek Carr did that. Every quarterback does that over the course of their career, especially when you're playing 5 years in a row. When you make it to 3 out of 5 playoffs, to the playoffs 3 out of 5 years, and you dealing with a team that doesn't have an O-line or a defense, and your best weapon is T.Y. Hilton. Other than that, you have Frank Gore. I'm not sure what else you want him to do. If you put pieces around him, who's to say he can't go to a Super Bowl? He's been doing this with the average team behind him the whole time. That's just my argument.
All right. When you were saying that, I was looking at Moncrief's numbers, the back end of that 2015 season. I really don't. I wish I could do the math right now, but I mean, it wasn't definitely. He was still productive. He just didn't get in the end zone.
Bro, it's half and half. I'm looking at it now too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He had 100. He had a 100-yard game.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. I pulled up the numbers the other day.
It's damn near.
He did as much as what he could with a 40-year-old quarterback.
He had 200-yard games, one with a Luck, and then one with Hasselbeck. That's it. Though.
Exactly. He had one game where he had 100 yards. Other than that, he was not productive the whole season. The entire season, he vanished on me.
I mean,
he had one with A-Luck too. So
he only had one with Andrew Luck.
But we're talking about without Andrew Luck. And even if he did, he had 2 100-yard games the entire season. But he's this great number 2 receiver. In y'all,
why do you keep saying great, bro? You keep saying
okay.
Great. You keep using the adjective to over.
Even if he's good, has he ever had 1,000 yards? What makes Dante Moncrief a good receiver in your opinion? To me, Devontae Adams is a good receiver, and Moncrief is a notch below that, a couple notches below that.
Well, first off, I think Moncrief is good. I think Moncrief is good for his ability, first off, to get down the field and his ability to high point the ball. Like, he's a guy who can get in the end zone. He knows how to get in the end zone, and he makes plays, bro. He makes plays for his quarterback, bro. He got the leaps. He got the bunnies, bro.
Also, Adams
doesn't drop many passes.
It's like a third or fourth option, bro. Jordy, Randall Cobb,
and
it's endless dudes that's before him. So Devontae Adams not getting no number 1, number 2 corner, bro.
Well, it's hard for you to double team Devontae anyway.
My argument is, does Dante Moncrief ever make Andrew Luck any better, or is it just Andrew Luck makes Dante Moncrief look better? You have receivers.
I'm pretty sure we can put a tape on and see that Moncrief probably bailed him out on a couple jumps. I can probably see that Andrew Luck set him up perfectly, but it really doesn't make him any better or worse than what you're saying right now, bro.
And he's never been a great number 2 receiver. Like, that's first and foremost. Like, we have to establish that. You got to stop saying that because nobody's saying.
But my thing is, when you
a
say
great number 2 is Randall Cobb. A great number 2 is.
You tell me that a quarterback has weapons around him, and you start naming the receivers. I'm expecting to hear some names that are like, okay, you know what? Maybe that guy is always open. Like guys
no. Last week you had said that he had nobody around him. You said he literally had nobody.
Said T.Y. Hilton. I said T.Y. Hilton.
And that's when we said Moncrief is not a slouch, bro. That's what we were trying to tell you. And you was like, Moncrief
not no slouch, bro.
And that's all we was trying to tell you. Like, it ain't. We ain't say he was great, but you said he wasn't worth talking about. That's what you said.
I personally don't think he's a weapon to be brought up if we're talking about weapons around the quarterback. If you're talking about weapons around the quarterback, you give me Kirk Cousins, had Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garcon, guys like that who have put up 1,000-yard seasons and things of that nature without Kirk Cousins. To me, Moncrief is not a guy worth saying.
If you put Moncrief on the team, knowing his status in the NFL right now, if you put Moncrief on the team with a solid quarterback, he's still going to put up similar numbers that he's putting on right now with Andrew Luck.
We're going to have to see. Because, I mean, I disagree in all honesty. I think with Andrew Luck, yes, he looks... my thing is, this isn't just about Andrew Luck. This is me being 100% real. I think with Andrew Luck, his numbers look pretty good. If you take him away from Andrew Luck and you put him with a decent guy, let's say with... who's a decent quarterback in the NFL?
Alex Smith is fair.
If you put him with Alex Smith, I don't see him putting up numbers like that. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be. That's just my.
So he's under 500 yards with Alex Smith.
No,
he's just over 500 yards with Andrew Luck.
He got 733. He got 733 and 15.
Did he get?
And that's with Andrew Luck. That's with Andrew Luck.
I don't know his career. I'm about to check right now.
It looked like
700 was his most productive year.
He missed 5 games this year.
He's always hurt. That's another thing. The best
he played he played 16 games in 14. That was his rookie year. He only started 2. Last year, I mean, in 2015, he started.
Last couple years, he's been hurt.
He's played in all 16 games his first 2 years. His last year was the only year he was hurt, which was the year he played 9 games in 2016
Okay.
So his first 2 games.
Has he ever had over 800 yards?
He's only started 10 games, Montel. I mean, the year where he started the most was 10 games. That's the year he started the most. That was 2015. He started 10 games and played in 16. In 2014, he played in 16, only started 2. So he's not getting that. He must not been getting that much burn, bro.
If he's only playing this, if he's not starting and he's not, what makes him like a legitimate weapon? And you guys ask, like, what makes him so legitimate? Like, what is he proving? Like, what is he really proving to consider him a legitimate
seven touchdowns on 30 receptions is pretty good, bro. Tell you that much.
With Andrew Luck, that's what I'm telling you. Those
okay, and he played in 7 games and was hurt. He was hurt for the remaining 7 that he played. I mean, the remaining 7 that he missed. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Seven touchdowns. If he played in all 16, he's having double digit touchdowns, bro. What do you like? Come on, bro. What is that?
Do you really think that? First off,
yes, he had 7 and 9.
The best.
Hey, hold up.
2. That's with Luck. Do you really think he's going to put up those numbers with Alex Smith? Let's just keep it 100.
Yes. Yeah. What's up, man?
Okay.
Hey, y'all. Did y'all know? I'm sorry, this is so off topic, but did y'all know the Pacers tried to trade Paul George?
Yeah, bro.
To the Thunder, to the Golden State Warriors, bro.
Yeah, bro, they did. They asked for Clay, and I'm glad the Pacers. I mean, the Warriors didn't reach out because I was pissed when I saw it. I was like, how the hell are they gonna ask for Paul George too?
Bruh, that
But
is
yeah, nah,
OC.
the
That's
Pacers, the
OC.
Pacers reached out to him, and that's wild. But
Yeah, why would they even do that to the West?
I don't know.
So
I don't know, man. Why would they do that to LeBron? It's not fair. But but look, bro, we're gonna go ahead and move on, man. We all made our points. We was rapping about that for a minute, man, and I don't even think I think we could save our. I'm trying to figure out. My phone just froze. Hold on. There we go. The Calvin
oh,
Johnson
just know we're
comments.
not gonna get nowhere. Oh, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
This is a
about
good
the
topic.
Calvin Johnson comments, bro. I think first and foremost, let's get these one-word answers out the way in a brief sentence or two. Um, Montel and Nick, do you guys think, because the deadline's coming up on Monday for the franchise tag, man, for Kirk Cousins, do you guys think a deal gets done? First and foremost, and secondly, just to put this in your ear, it's discussions earlier, reports out that the reason why the front office may be holding back is because of the way people felt after the Panthers and Giants game. I know that may be a lot to expound upon, but simply let's try and put this simple since we running pretty we running pretty far here. But you think a deal gets done? One of y'all can answer. It don't matter. It don't
Oh
matter.
no, I don't. A deal's not getting done. I don't. I'm not sure if Kurt's going to be in a Redskin jersey after the season. They need to start looking at other options as far as trading them. But no, a deal does not get done. We've been following this. Jamal, we're Redskin fans almost every single day. Nothing's going to get done. I'm not sure why. If it's because of the Panthers and Giants game, I think that's pretty weak. But I do think that they see something that says we won't make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and I don't think that it's unfair because it is something missing from Kurt's game, and I heard Chris Cooley say it this morning, and those guys are huge fans of Kurt, but it is something missing from his game, and we all know that. But I think if you put a team around him, he can take you deep into the playoffs. But it's just something missing there. It's something.
Nick, what's up with you, man?
No, oh, said this 2 shows ago, bro. He's gonna get the tag. He won't be there next year, most likely. Can't keep tagging my man, bro.
And
See him in San Francisco.
and I was thinking, I think we may just close out on this one. So we can talk about this a little bit more, but and we'll save Calvin for next week, early next week anyway. I think personally, I used to be optimistic about it. I don't think a deal gets done myself. And in terms of these two games, if you think about it, a lot of people make mention that Kirk Cousins folded in a few of the late season games. The Carolina, the Giants, the Cardinals, which I don't agree.
Cowboys.
I don't agree with the Cardinals, John.
I do.
And the reason why I don't agree, and Montel, I don't know if you watch the TV shows, the Redskins Nation shit. I think that's where I saw it, or it might have been, or Kirk might have talked about it himself in a post game presser. But there was miscommunication on that game losing interception on that last drive to take the lead, where he expected Jamison Crowder to follow the rules of the play, which meant Jamison Crowder, the play, he broke to the inside for the post. He was butt
I
naked.
remember he threw a pick to Patrick
Yeah,
Peterson.
he threw the out route. It was supposed to be a quick out because the heat was coming on his backside. So he threw the out route, and obviously he threw it right into Patrick Peterson's hands. So he's expecting Jamison Crowder to run an out route, but Jamison Crowder saw a vacancy in the field. That's where the miscommunication lied. Those things happen in the wrong time. So my point is, excluding miscommunication, there was a lot of things going wrong in that game. That even though the offense got onto a bad start, it wasn't all on Cousins, and a lot of people said he folded in that game. That's the part I disagree. In terms of the offense, they struggled in the Dallas game, the Cardinals game, the Giants game, and the Panthers game for sure. And I mean,
I don't think our offense really struggled in the Dallas, in neither of the Dallas games.
No, the first half. I put the numbers up together during the season. Like if I can put them out now, like the first half of the games, they struggled to. They was averaging like 9 points per game in the first half. In the second half,
they weren't really on the field. They weren't really on the field much though.
But, you got they're kicking field goals, bro. And you're right. You're absolutely right. But they kicking field goals, and when you know you got to put up touchdowns with this defense.
That's true. That's true.
So that's that, and I understand where the hesitancy is coming from. I mean, it's legitimate. I just think. And I think the biggest thing is, bro, it's the $25 million. Like, are you really gonna swallow that pill and get that deal done? I don't think anybody's willing to pay that, knowing, it's really a small sample size for him. Still, it's only 2 years.
Yeah. Yep.
It's only 2 years, and what you see in that sample size is mixed results.
Yep.
He's giving you really great games, and then in his worst games, you just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
And here's what I always bring up when people throw out the numbers, the 4,000 yards, the 5,000 yards. My question is always, how many 4,000 yard, 5,000 yard type games did he have during the season? And that's my thing with Kirk.
What do you mean by that? Explain that.
I'm about to expand upon it now. He had those games where he lit you up, and then he had those games, and this is over the course of a 5,000 yard season almost nearly this past year. He had games where he lit you up, and then he had games where he just didn't show. My thing is, when I compare him to Dak Prescott, who numbers aren't nearly as gaudy as Kirk Cousins in regards to yards and touchdowns and things of that nature, Dak Prescott had 2 bad games the entire season. Kirk, I counted, I think he had about 5 or 6 where I was just like, man, Kurt, what the hell are you doing? I remember the Steelers game where he didn't play too well, and then he bounced back versus Dallas, and he had a pretty average game, and he threw that clutch interception, which hurt my heart because that puts the game away. Even if you don't throw a pick, we put the game away if you don't throw that pick.
You talking about the one in FedEx Field?
Yeah, at FedEx Field. Then he came back. He played poorly against the Ravens, and a lot of people give our defense a lot of issues. And they did suck. They fucking sucked this past year. But he didn't have a good game against the Ravens. He didn't play well against the Cardinals. He didn't play well against the Panthers. He didn't play well against the Giants. That's too many games for me as a fan for you to. I don't care if you had 5,000 yards. You didn't play well in all those games. You just put up huge numbers versus the Cowboys, huge numbers versus the Panthers, huge numbers versus the Bears.
Numbers versus the Panthers.
That's the Packers. I meant to say the Packers. The Packers. He put up huge numbers in some games, huge numbers versus the Bears. He put up huge numbers in some games, and then he had games where I was just like, bro, the offense is not moving. Granted, it's not always on Kirk. It's really not. And at times we all fault the quarterback for almost everything that goes wrong with the offense. And I understand the whole Jamison Crowder thing. I just don't understand why what week was that? 13, 14, something like that? Why are we still having those miscommunications with your receivers? Like, it's stuff like that. And I understand, like, stuff happens in the NFL. You playing the game on the fly. It's one of the fastest games. But it is. It's situations where Kurt doesn't look like that great quarterback, that guy that I'm willing to pay $25 million a year, $90 million guaranteed is what I'm hearing that his agent wants.
Oh, no.
Are we really? I'm not saying that's his number. That's just me throwing a number out there that most people are saying, hey, you got to pay Kurt this if you want to keep him because he's playing that leverage game. So I don't know if I'm willing to do it. I'm not in the Skins organization, but at the end of the day, this is a league where you're not going to compete if you don't have a quarterback. So it's like I see why they're playing hardball. Both sides are kind of playing hardball right now.
Yeah, Nick, you want to talk about it right quick? Or you good?
Yeah, I'll say a little something. I feel like Kurt, he remind me of Tony Romo. With a good running game, he can be a dominant quarterback in this league. I say this only because
very true.
With a running game, he doesn't throw as much because Kirk throws the ball a lot. Yep. Y'all running game was looking a little piss poor last year. I think all your running backs together might have got 1,000 yards.
Nah. We got like 18. We got like 1,800. They try to play, bro. We got like 1,800. I was listening to him see if he was going to be accurate, but nah. The thing is, like, we we were able. Now I'll let you finish, Nick. But we were able to run the ball, and we were able to. I think we were top 10 in yards per attempt. But the issue wasn't the fact that we were able to run it. It was who we were able to run it against. We weren't able to run it against the Cardinals consistently. We had like 80-something yards, but we shied away from it. We couldn't run it when we needed it. We couldn't run it against the Panthers. We couldn't run it in the season finale against the Giants. And there's other games I may be missing. I can't think on this. We couldn't run it against the Ravens. We still
second Cowboys game.
Kirk Cousins. I mean, even though he threw that dumbass interception, we still had to lean on his shoulder, and we got the game with a touchdown with Pierre Garçon. We couldn't run it against certain teams, bro, and that was the thing that was really killing us. So we were able to get a lot of yards, but it just weren't against the right teams and when we really needed them. Yeah. But go ahead, finish, Nick. I just wanted to talk about that.
Okay. Well, I'm still saying you said 1,800 yards on the ground.
If my math is right, I'd say 1,800.
I'm gonna have to stat check that one.
Yeah, I know Rob Kelly had 700 something. Matt Jones had like 5, 6, and Chris Thompson had like 3 or 4. I'm just going off the top of my head right now, but go ahead.
You still gonna fact check that one?
I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now for myself.
You still gonna fact check that one?
Nothing personal, man. It's just gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Just to
all right, no,
sure
I got you, bro. Go ahead and talk, man. I got you right now. I'm pulling the team up.
Okay, but yeah, man, I feel like
man, a little bit.
You done, loser?
Got you, bro. I'm sorry.
This is going to be on a 30 for 30, bro. That whole little draft with RG3 and Kirk. This is going to be a 30 for 30, like 10 years from now.
1696, 1,600 yards, bro. Or 1,700. Might as well say 1,700.
Okay, and the 30 for 30 going to be called the cousin that got away. Because Kirk going to leave y'all next year. I'll tell you that right now. He gone. He up out of there. And he going to light the league up for another team, and y'all going to be like, damn, why didn't we pay him?
I don't know that to be true for sure.
I think that's going to be the case.
But the only reason I say that is because it's a curse versus Washington. Washington, I don't know what it is about Washington teams, bro.
Shit.
But it
James
is
believe in
just...
that shit. Shout out to James, man, if you listening.
I don't know what it is, bro, but y'all get so like hyped up, y'all get the players, and then something bad drastically happens. It's all Washington teams. The Lakers, not the Lakers. I said the Wizards.
You right.
The Wizards, the Capitals, and the Redskins, bro. Y'all do so good and then just mess up at the wrong time, like Tony Romo.
I just don't know if that's going to be the case. But I mean, I see what you're saying. I wouldn't be surprised if he left and lit it up, but I just think he's in a pretty good situation right now. And
I mean, we're going to keep him for another year. I know that much. So we get at least 2 years out of him. 2 more years. But
how y'all get 2 more years? If y'all franchise have him this year, he can lead next year, right?
Nah, you got 3 times, but I don't think we're going to franchise him next year. I think we're going to transition tag him.
Y'all do it 3 times in a row, bro.
Franchise is $35 million next year, and that's not going to happen. We're going to transition tag is $28 million. And I think the Redskins are stupid enough to do that. So
how much is he getting paid this year?
24.
Okay, so he's about to take that 24, probably keep like 20 million.
I just don't see why they don't guarantee that in the contract. The 24, 22.
He will be in San Francisco next year.
My bold prediction is the Steelers. I think he fucking around goes to the Steelers. Yeah, man. Big Ben already talking about retirement, bro. If he get hurt again this year, Big Ben's probably going retire after this year. Can't take it no more, man. His body fragile, bro. He missing like 5-6 games a year, bro. Off simple stuff.
I would say he should do that just because I know he probably got like a family and everything. And if you keep getting hurt, bro, you got life after football, bro. He only like what 30 something.
Big Ben is like 34, 35.
Right, he got his whole life.
He came in the same class as Eli Manning, so.
Oh yeah, well Eli on his way out too. I'll tell you that right now.
Eli been out for like the past 2 years, so. He's just sleepwalking right now, bro, going through the motions. But I don't know what's up with Eli, man. Playoff Eli is legit. I don't know what the hell be happening to him in the regular season. That fool.
Eli do enough to get you to the playoffs, and then he just start throwing up prayers, bro.
Eli's the prime example of a guy who, if he got everything around him going right, he gonna go. I personally believe that if he got everything around him, he gonna go. But Eli, he's not that great of a quarterback to me. I think he's good.
Not a chance.
It's
I
funny
think
though.
he's
His two playoff runs. That defense. The only thing that was going for him was the fact that they got to the quarterback with the sacks. They
Mhm.
like statistically, they still weren't really. Um, they weren't stout, is what I should say. They weren't an elite defense. They weren't the Denver Broncos or the Seattle Seahawks or
I see what you
thing like
say.
that. But he just got on hot streaks, bruh. Even
Yep,
2011, he
that's
got on
what
a
it
hot
is.
streak. He got on a hot
That's
streak.
exactly what it is.
And this year wasn't his fault. Like he was cooking the shit out of the Packers. And I forgot who got hurt. I think Landon Collins or somebody in their secondary got hurt, and Aaron Rodgers turned the fuck up. He turned up, and it was a wrap from then. Like so, I mean, they went up 10-0 on him, and Eli Manning was on point, and OBJ just kept dropping passes, all that type of shit. Like,
Yeah, bro.
like
I was, bro.
he was on point.
Yeah.
He was on point in the playoffs this year, but obviously it's a team game, as we stated before when we was talking about Andrew Luck. Team game. So I don't blame this year for him. He turned up in the playoffs, but the regular season, like it's two different Eli's, bro. He two-faced. I'll tell you that much.
Also, another thing about Kirk, bro. I don't think he's gonna take the disrespect too many years in a row, bro. That's why I think he's gonna leave next year. Cause if y'all throw this franchise tag at him again,
But it's in the organ. I see what you're saying, but it's in the organization hands. Like they control it, so he can demand his release. I don't know if the Redskins gonna grant it.
I personally don't even view it as disrespect at this point. It's a business, bro, and a lot of people got to realize that it is a business. Nothing is personal. Nobody's saying we don't like you. They just trying to get the best bang for their buck. That's all it is, and you can't knock. And just like Kirk trying to get his money, the Skins like, well, we want to keep you, but we trying to keep you at a price so we can put other players around you. It's no disrespect intended. I don't think so. It's just a business.
I agree.
And
I also think y'all
involved.
should have tried to sign him before Derek Carr deal got done too. I think if y'all had signed him before that, y'all would have to worry about trying to outdo his contract.
I think a lot of it is on Kurt at this point. I think a lot of it is on the organization. Like I said, it's 50-50.
Kurt really got no reason to give in though. Like he doesn't have any reason.
He doesn't though. That's the thing. He trying to cash in, bro.
I feel him. You gotta think about it though. It's some bad quarterbacks that got these good deals. Brock Osweiler.
I say like 23, 24 per year, bruh, and like 80. My max, I'd be comfortable. No, I'd be okay. I may flinch at it, but I'd be okay with it. I say give him 23 per year and like 85 guaranteed, bro. That's the max I'd be okay with.
That's the thing. The Skins ain't even offering that. So if I don't know what they want.
The last
what does the Skins offer though?
Didn't they offer like some close to 40
mil guaranteed?
Yeah, that's the last reported around that.
That actually is disrespectful.
It is, and that's why I was like, business wise, bro. Yeah, it is a business decisions, but business wise, the Redskins fucked up 2 years ago. That's when they fucked up.
They fucked up when they let Scott McCloughan go. I don't know if you heard the report. Scott was like, let's sign him before the 2015 season kicked off. Let that man do his job, and he's still here, and Kirk Cousins is locked up. So,
you want to know why they ain't take Scott advice right then and there?
What you about to say, bro? You about to say something?
Scott was probably
he's probably
drunk.
He's probably
Scott probably busting up beside him today.
Henny all on his breath, bro. He was like, "We not about to listen to your drunk ass."
We gotta sign Kirk right now, man. I'm telling you, he's the future. And it's crazy though, cause he was right this whole time. He's like, "Man, look, it's a bargain. We could get him right now."
And he was drunk, but you know what I'm saying? Drunk people do speak the truth. I will say that. So maybe y'all should maybe I should get the boy back. He a little smart.
We'll see, bruh. We'll see. You know, I don't know how it goes, bruh. Maybe a miracle happens and we get him on a deal that's a bargain in the fans' eyes. Who knows? Maybe we get an out. Well, I don't think he's going to give us an out, but maybe he might be locked in for the next 5 years or 4 if we get a deal done. But you know, Monday's coming up, the deadline's coming up, so we'll see what happens, man. I wish the best of luck to both these parties involved.
Hey, what day is he supposed to what's the day for like the deadline?
Monday's the deadline. So
Come
the
on, bro.
17th, bro.
And they haven't had anything like no close.
There's been
some
no
close.
reports that any progress has been made in terms of negotiations. So nothing right now. And that's a problem. But
Hey, does any quarterbacks come out in the next draft?
there's a few of them, bro. Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Luke Falk, a couple other people, man. But
Just a bunch of names we don't know.
Hey, Lamar, I'm glad you know these
saying
names
that.
now because one of those guys gonna be a quarterback in 2 years. All right.
Whatever, bro. You might be right. You might be right. I don't even like. I hate forecasting and all that type of stuff, bro, to the draft and all that type of shit. But you probably right. Anyway,
I think Jalen Hurt gonna be coming out around there, so y'all can get Jalen Hurt.
Who was that? I'm tripping. Lamar Jackson. When Lamar Jackson come out? 2 years or one next year?
Next year. He's good.
I know he was redshirted his first year, right? He wasn't no true freshman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Action Jackson. Hey, what's funny is he can't go to y'all because y'all gonna ruin my boy career like y'all did.
He's not a quarterback.
I said the same thing. I was like, man, he gonna be a great receiver in the NFL. I'll tell you that much.
I don't disrespect my man, bro.
He's not a quarterback. Bro.
Have you seen him trying to throw on the rope, bro?
Telling you, he's not a quarterback.
I mean, he got an arm, but that fool is not. He's not that accurate, man.
That game is not going to translate to. We
gonna see my man do this shit. All right.
He'll be a hell of a college player. That's all it is.
We'll see what
let's see what my man do this year. I know he.
I love watching him play though, no doubt, for real. I love watching him play.
Yeah. Sure. I'm a baller.
All right, we done with you. We done with you.
Nigga fool, cuz.
Can you
I ain't gonna lie. All his games. Come on, man. Hey, that was a great way to bring in the show. If you want me to say that again, I got you.
Nah, you don't gotta say it again. I still got you, bro. We good.
I bet, man. Because I ain't think it'll come out the same way.
You the headline of this one.
I appreciate that, man. Real.
You still not getting no press passes, but I'm for sure.
Hey, Hog Style guys, if you can hear me now.
Hog Style guys.
I'm happy to be a part of the organization, and I would love to meet you guys someday. And
I can't with y'all. Hey, I guess we need to wrap up, but I meant to fact check you, Mo. When you said the Chargers game was out of hand with the Patriots.
Timeout. No. I said they were within the score. That's what I said. They were within the score. But if you were watching the game, they were not getting close. They were never ever close to getting taking the lead or winning that game.
It was 14-12 at the beginning of the fourth, and I think towards the middle of the fourth, the Patriots had scored. And that really put the game out of hand. It was a defensive game, but I wouldn't say the game was ever really out of hand because they had a couple chances to score and they was just dropping like touchdown passes. They were moving the ball over. They were moving the ball, but they were just kicking field goals. They weren't scoring touchdowns. So I think that's what that just broke their back. But I remember that game because LT was pissed off and the Patriots was coming on the field.
That's why I fuck with Phillip Rivers so much, bro. Because that fool, he tore his ACL the week before, came out the next week still balled, bro.
Yeah,
or he played. I wouldn't say he balled, but he played. He couldn't really do shit on the ACL.
The Patriots guys came on the field doing the lights out. The lights out, Shaw, man, man. They petty as hell.
He really was, bro. But they had a rivalry back then. I think the year before that was the year they went. The Chargers went 14-2, and New England went in there and beat them in San Diego. So that shit was crazy, bro. But yeah, I appreciate that. I just wanted to. I'm glad you proved my point, though.
Hey, if y'all not about to do nothing after this podcast, make sure y'all watch
I'm about to go straight to the gym, dog. I'm about to get in there.
Oh, the game probably be on in the gym. Lonzo Ball, they about to play tonight.
That's a bet.
But all right, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. I ain't gonna hold my guests no longer. They got things to do. Nick he the big baller patrol, so he gotta hop on. Watch ESPN and flaunt Lonzo Ball stats in the group chat. Montel, exactly. I know you gotta go. I know you gotta go to the gym, man. You gotta go pump some iron. I know you bench like 112 pounds right now, so
something like that.
Something like that.
So I know you got to get busy, bro. I just got done hooping, putting up buckets with AK and them. Put it in the chat. Ask them right now, boy. I was looking good, man. It's looking good. But yeah, man. I don't know what we doing tomorrow. I know we having that Madden tournament soon. We need to on Saturday.
Oh yeah, what time is that, man? I'm going to Top Golf tomorrow night, though.
Y'all you want to Top Golf?
Yeah.
How much that cost, bro? Who you going with?
I'm going with my girl. We going. It's a
All
triple
right, yeah,
date.
never mind then. We good. I'm good. So yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for listening. We'll figure out what we're gonna do Saturday with the match.
Hey, Ma, if you got a little special lady you want to bring through, we all gonna be out there drinking and stuff. Come on
Hey, we
down.
could do the man tournaments. I'm handing out L's like hotcakes, baby. Free L's on me.
All right. Well, I got some train tickets for Ma and everybody else who wants some.
Train
So,
tickets. Boy, stop playing.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even talking with you, bro. We gonna put it in the we're gonna put it on the show next Monday, Tuesday, whenever we record, and let them know how much I beat you by. So we'll figure that out.
Hey, Ma, did you do that last time we played?
Nah, I lost. I mean that's
What about
fine.
the time? What about the time before that?
That one don't even count because we did random teams and I had to
Bro,
pick.
Ma, I put you on a train back to PG. We was in Punta Cana, bro. What's up, man? Surprise! You made it back in time. Ball
That's
last
fair,
night.
Nick. If we had an overall record over the amount of times we played, I probably won 100 times. You probably won 4. So
You probably never even played 100 times. I think the actual record was
that's just if the numbers were accurate, you probably won. That's probably it. We played.
It might be like a
times,
50-50 thing, huh? You might got one
that's
more
not
dub
the
than me.
case. That's not the case. That's never the case. Nick, you don't win a lot in video games. So
That's actually good.
I respect you for soaking it all right now. Like
That's dead.
I
Hey Ma, last game played. I want to know you own one. That's all
that's
that matters.
fair. That's fair.
You as good as your last game. Right now, you 0%. So
that's fair. Okay. Anyway, we moving on. I'm gonna put that jump. I'm gonna let everybody know next time we record next week, man. But I appreciate everybody for listening. Catch y'all next week. Enjoy y'all weekend, man. Peace.
Zip it up and zip it out. Hey, put that on the jump, man.